there, yes, it's time for another Week in Geek. What's up? My name is Maude Garrett. I am Boss Bomb of Geek Bomb. Julie's going to be joining me this week to talk about all the news that you may or may not have missed that went on. All the nerdy good stuff. So let's kick it off. I don't know if you noticed, but Sherlock Season 4, otherwise known as Episode 10 or 11 if you count The Abominable Bride. I can't say that fast. But in this particular trailer, it seems a lot darker and grittier, and Sherlock says, "I love you." I didn't think he was capable of love. Who was he saying it to? I hope Watson. Also in news for us, I hope you've been following Geek Bomb's Twitter, because every single Friday we do #Fight of Fandoms. Not an accident that it's on Friday, because alliteration's really cool. But all month of December we are pitting two Christmas movies up against each other. Like we've had Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, we've had Home Alone and Vacation, which I think just went up on the weekend, Home Alone 1. Make sure you jump in on the polls for that and cast your vote, because on geekbomb.net we do a little article that not only announces the winner but also includes your tweets, your fight, you tweeting us why you chose that particular one. It ends up on our website, which is pretty cool. So HBO's been doing some pretty cool things. Obviously they're in charge of Game of Thrones, which I adore. They also did Westworld, which I believe was one of the highest rated shows that was watched for the first season, which is amazing. I mean, I don't really know anyone that hasn't watched it, but now they're going to be teaming up with J.J. Abrams for a show called Glare. It's going to be like a sci-fi space adventure. I think JJ usually does a pretty good job with dramas and suspense, especially when it's in a sci-fi realm. So the team up with HBO, I'm really excited about. What do you think? Glare. That was my glare. If you're like me and believe that Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time has one of the best soundtracks in the world, then good news, it's on vinyl if you want to pick that one up. Here's a fun fact. I bought a keyboard about 7 years ago, and the two songs I taught myself was the Tetris theme song, and Gerudo Valley from Ocarina of Time. And lastly, Ryan Reynolds is almost dropping to his knees, begging Hugh Jackman to team up with Deadpool for one last movie before he hangs those claws up. But Ryan Reynolds, I actually just interviewed Hugh Jackman last week, and he is very adamant that Logan will be his last time. He says that Ryan Reynolds has been calling him non-stop, to the point where it's almost embarrassing now. But I, on behalf of all geeks, pleaded with Hugh Jackman personally to make this, because it's what we all want. By the way, I saw the first 40 minutes of Logan, and guys, it's really good. Those comparing it to The Last of Us, you're not wrong. That was your weekend news. Now it's time for Monday. Westworld announced that you too can get the soundtrack for that show. It's got 34 tracks on it. It's got that original score, the opening that we all know by Ramin Djawadi. That one's by Ramin Djawadi. That one's by Ramin Djawadi, for those who wanted to know. It took me a lot of takes to get that name, and I apologize. Did you like the music in the show though? I mean, I did like the opener. It definitely got stuck in my head, and I felt it was a lot like Game of Thrones, where it's like a long song, but it was like full of, I don't know, like trepidation almost in a way. It was a little bit like gloomy. In Tuesday's news, Patrick Wilson, who, funny story, looked like one of my very first boyfriends, but an older version of him, but that's not important. Let's move on. He's going to be in Aquaman. Yes, he's going to be playing the villain, Orm, or O-R-M. I'm not entirely sure because I'm not too familiar with Aquaman, but I do know that James Wan is directing, and he's worked with Patrick Wilson in Conjuring and Conjuring 2. In fact, I think they work very, very well together, so it might be that relationship that's brought him onto the project, so that's really cool for Patrick Wilson. And on Tuesday, the holiday-themed Overwatch skins went live. I know that I jumped straight on and tried to unlock as many loot boxes as I can, and in my first one I did not unlock anything special at all. In fact, I never seem to. But if you want to check out what all the skins are, I don't think Mercy has one, which is weird. She would have made a great Mrs. Claus. But you can go onto geekbomb.net, because Ziana has done a massive breakdown, and she's also talked about the nerfing and upgrades of particular characters, including Symmetra's 2 Ultimates. So if you are an Overwatch fan, geekbomb.net. Well, that's me done with the first half of the week, but Julia, it's over to you. What's been going on?
Thanks, Maude. Hey guys, this is Julia, and I'm just going to be jumping right in for the second half of Week in Geek. Netflix dropped a trailer on Wednesday of The OA, apparently. That is going to be a show produced by Brad Pitt, and it looks really exciting. I'm really excited to see it. What do you guys think of it? Speaking of trailers, Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk also released its full trailer, and it was like an entire 2 minutes of just an anxiety attack. It's also been announced that Margot Robbie is going to be working with her Suicide Squad director David Ayer to create Gotham City Sirens. I don't quite know how to feel about this because Suicide Squad, as fun as it was a very incomplete movie. In Thursday's news, apparently Harley Quinn might not be the only Suicide Squad member to get their own spin-off film. It's been considered, not confirmed, but considered, that Deadshot might be getting his own spin-off. How are we feeling about this? I wouldn't mind it if they followed the comics and didn't do throw in their own kind of thing, but I don't know. Warner Brothers is kind of on a weird track right now of incomplete plot hole filled film, so don't know. It's also been announced that R.L. Stine is going to be writing Man-Thing for Marvel Comics, and I'm really excited because I really want to see what he does with it. It's going to be set in the 50s, and are you geeks going to be picking this up? Rounding up the week with Friday, Sonequa Martin Green is going to be Lieutenant Commander in Star Trek Discovery. She was in Walking Dead, and she was really badass in Walking Dead, so yes, I'm all for this, and I can't wait to see her performance. Also, Robin Hood is going to be getting an Origins film, and Ben Mendelsohn from Rogue One is going to play the sheriff. I'm not quite sure if we need a Robin Hood Origins film, but I guess we're gonna roll with it. Alright guys, that's it for this particular Week in Geek. If you guys would like to follow us, subscribe to the channel. There's a Facebook where all of our stories come from and where we actually pull from for this particular video. We have geekbomb.net, we have a Twitter, we've got an Instagram, we've got Twitch, we've got pretty much everything, so go hit us up. We'll see you guys next time, and Maude, is there anything that you would like to say?
And while you're here, you should definitely check out my Rogue One review. It's full of spoilers, and it's only for those that have seen the movie and they kind of want to analyze what they liked and didn't like about it, because that's exactly what I did. I've got pros, I've got cons, and I've got my score. So check that one out, absolutely. And we've got brand new Punderwear designs. Not only is it very Star Wars themed, but we've got a couple of holiday designs as well. So punderwear.net, check that out. Thank you so much for watching another Week in Geek. Bye!